Welcome back to Give the Program. Yeah, I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
Along with me is Bill Gremler.
Wolverine.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
It's been a while.
You
it
look
feels
good.
like it's been a long time.
And it does feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's not that it has been, I mean, longer than we would want it to be for sure.
Longer,
like, I get it. But like, if there's 1 week that goes by, there's so much stuff just in our own worlds that happens during that time that like 1 week of time feels like 4 months.
Yes. Yes.
And that's exactly what it feels like.
We are in sport mode this week. So all my kids' sports just started up. And I have the honor and privilege to be coaching all of them.
Yeah.
So my daughter, she had soccer on Wednesday. That was her first game. We got throttled. They were horrible. They were absolutely terrible. She scored twice. Another girl scored once, and that was it for the game. It was. I think that other team probably scored 12 to 15 goals. It was crazy.
That's wild. You know what? It's the weirdest thing that I've seen. And like Jolie, so she's into dance. So she's doing dancing. And the dance is like you're just out there and you're doing your dance, you're taking your classes, and like I think they have their auditions for Nutcracker this year, coming up this weekend. But I work with like the baseball kids, and stuff like that. And Laura, her kids are doing like they do baseball and they do football and they do basketball. I don't know how little kid programs work when it's like, okay, everyone, welcome. You're on your team. Our first game is now.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody get out there and I don't know, do some things. It's so weird. It's crazy to me. There's so many games.
Yeah.
But you have this massive split between the kids that actually know how to play the game and the ones that are like, yes, I just like to learn how to play.
Yeah, we're on team. So like we do the YMCA.
Okay.
I did when I was little, and now in the span of the 3 years we moved to this new neighborhood, there has been 2 new flag football leagues that have been created, 3 baseball leagues, select soccer. These kids are 7.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is a mental disorder. But these parents are forcing their kids into.
I will not disagree.
It is.
I'm all for keeping the kids active. I'm all for that. But the fact that all of these parents are doing these things and like, I need to get on the good traveling team because my child needs to get a scholarship to go to. Your kid's 7, and right now it is picking his nose right now. So I don't think you need to worry about that. They need to learn. They need to learn to like, hey, you know what? When things don't go your way, let's keep on going. Like the life lesson parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because your kid's not good yet, and even if they are good, they're probably going to be burned out by the time they're 12.
Right. The worst part is, so like I put my kids in every sport possible in season.
Yeah.
These parents are putting their kids in 2 or 3 flag football leagues at the same time. It's crazy. Like my son has his first flag football game. We will only play flag football once a year. The YMCA is starting to get a little ridiculous because we play twice a year. They have fall and spring.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, we played 4 sports, and that was football. Actually, we didn't even play flag football when I was little. That wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Like we played tackle football when you went to middle school. And you couldn't even play tackle football till you were in 7th grade. So you had to do some like league in 6th grade just to get started. So I did baseball, soccer, basketball. That was it. And I swam in the summer.
Yeah.
That was all that was available. And that's all I played. Now there's flag football, soccer, baseball, basketball, lacrosse twice a year. And that's just the why.
That's crazy. That's so much.
It's crazy. And so Dylan, so he'll only play flag football once a year because that's during the week.
Yeah.
And then he'll only play baseball once a year, but that's on the weekend. And we're just trying to make sure he's still got to go to school. And
Right.
he's got homework. I mean, we're still trying to get better at reading. Yet these parents are focused on like giving private lessons to their kids to be a quarterback one day, and they won't be one.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
They'll be one in middle school because you've put them in a freaking private lesson training camp for the first 12 years of their life, and everybody else is having fun. It's not.
It is a trip, man. It is a trip. But yeah, but anyway, you get stuck in. It is so easy to get just buried with just all of this stuff. I mean, and just life stuff. I mean, kid stuff, and I'm dealing with like my mom stuff. Just I mean, like I'm at the age where like you start doing the things you were doing with your kids, you start having to deal with those kind of things with your parents now.
Yeah.
And that is it's a tough it's a tough place to be. It's just because it's just time. It's like, okay, where do I fit this part in?
Yeah.
Where do I fit that part in?
I don't know.
Stuff.
And
But here's the thing, I just do.
True. And as I do, that's like when this thing goes to the wayside. And like, I know you were doing stuff for the gym, and
yeah,
I'm coaching every one of these sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
anyway, but stoked to be here though. Hi, everybody.
Yes. Before we even get to the age group, there is one more CrossFit Games that is left to go. And that is the adaptive games, of which, there we go, Bill Grunler will be broadcasting in Las Vegas. Is that next weekend?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did it last year. You and Jeremy Austin.
Me and Jeremy. Yep.
And you guys go wall to wall.
Yeah, I think there's 93 different divisions. No, I'm playing. I think it's like 19 or something like that.
That's crazy.
And whatever the number is, they double it because you have men and women.
Right.
So you're right. It is wall to wall. But I will say that like just as being that we're going to be talking about the Masters here, when the Masters started getting like the legends, or like when the big names started to come out and to do, like you and Sean would call them, and they get really fired up hearing like the names call their name, and they're super appreciative of that. That's exactly how this group of athletes are. Like they. And me and Jeremy and we were told, and we would have done it this way anyway. But Kevin Ogar, he's like, he kept, he's like, I want you guys each to say the word cripple 4 times. I'm like, dude, we are not going to say that, man. We are not going to do that. But he's like, I do not want these athletes treated anything other than they are athletes on the floor competing. And if someone does great, hail the job of them doing great. And if someone fucks something up, tell everyone like, yeah, that was a messed up decision to make right there. They're not going to win because of that. Not like, wow, but they're doing so well. And I'm like, okay, got it. And that's what these athletes want. They want that. And we are so stoked to give that to them.
Yeah. It will be on YouTube.
It'll be on the Wheelwad account. I don't know if, I'm sure it'll be linked to CrossFit somehow as well. But I know it'll be on their YouTube.
I didn't think they did it for the Masters too. Well, they'll just put it up on there.
Yeah.
Saber, here's one thing you guys got to understand. Like, JR is a fantastic programmer, but he's not programming Jesus.
Y'all got
to chill.
Man, like, I mean, we love him. And the thing is that you guys don't know that there's like a little programming menage a trois text thread that me and Chase and JR are always talking on. So like we do all that kind of stuff.
Another one with Taylor on it.
But guess what? Like they have their show and we have our show.
Yes.
So there you go.
Plus, he doesn't want to talk Masters.
Maybe.
There's funny about the names, and as we get to this, is that I had walking around this. I can't remember who she was in, what division she was in. Maybe like 60 to 64 or something like that, or division right outside where we were covering during the day.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, this is like my first year at the games. I just started CrossFit 3 years ago. And she's like, I was so looking forward to trying to get on the broadcast and hear you guys say my name. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. We're not covering every expansive heat just because that's just the nature of the beast that is the age groupers. But on Sunday, we called every single heat, and she just squeaked into the final. Yeah. Except how to
So
write
there.
like Bill Grundler's workouts are. And we got to say her name. So that was really cool.
That
So,
is cool.
for her.
I mean, and all athletes have to remember that, like, you're gonna get talked about if you're winning. Like, that's how it works. Like, if you are towards the bottom, it doesn't mean that we don't love you, but, like, you're not in the race that we're talking about right at that moment. So, it's not a participation award, like, competition thing for us to speak about.
Yeah.
We talk about the race that's happening, and the race is everyone wants to see who comes across as the winner. So,
Right.
that's where we will always have the focus first, and then we go to the other things. So, we always want to talk about everyone and give everyone their due. We're stoked that everyone is there, but it doesn't always work that way. So just do your best. And if you want to hear your name, just do better.
Mhm. Yeah, true. So let's get into it. We have our new scoring system, which has been fantastic. I absolutely love it. 0.1 deductions, minor deductions, movement selections. Hey, I didn't like that. Could be equipment. Oh, I wish they used dumbbells instead of kettlebells. Little things, right? Little nuances. 0.5, that's a much bigger problem. Like this time cap was so short, nobody finished the workout. That's a problem. Or a one pointer is just like this event should not exist. Or
I like the titling garbage event.
Yeah,
Like,
garbage
that's what I have it
event.
written down. I have absence of movement or garbage event.
Yeah.
for a 1 point.
So that's our point system. Now, if you guys remember last year at the age grouper, I think every event was under 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
4 days of competition. I'm just going to say it. It's too much. It's too long. Too many events. Yeah. Make it 3.
It does not need to be 4.
I know it's hard to do because there's so many people.
I know, but you know what you do at that point? You just really tighten up on your programming, and it can be done because we've done regionals, which sent people to the games very efficiently.
True.
It can be done.
True. 7K run to start. All right. Already off to a great start. We got a nice long event. We're just going straight monostructural. It's akin to what happened at the CrossFit Games. All right. We're just running. All right. Get something long on the board. We're okay with this as long as there's some balance on the tail side. Right. And usually if you do single modality in one modality, either monostructural, weightlifting, or gymnastics, over the course of the weekend, you hope there's some type of balance with that. Right. You don't just want a lifting only event and then just a bunch of mixed modal ones of couplets and triplets. You don't want just a running or just a gymnastics. So you want to see that come into play. So 7K run to start things off. Just let these people see how their aerobic capacity is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this was a very easy softball lob to check off boxes.
Right.
I would have rather, since we had the individuals doing their long run, row run, just to make it be the same kind of a thing, and you could have some equity across the board. I think it would have been more fun to have that, but I get it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Still fine. It's a check. I don't have any issue with it, but it's like, it's a weird number. 7K.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just the course say. And sometimes weird numbers are good. Right. We're going to do a 1,500 meter row time trial because you're so used to 5, 1, or 2. Let's pick a distance maybe they don't know how to pace for.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll see that. Yeah, I got no issue with that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just get it in. Now, the second event of the day was the max clean and jerk. What I really liked about this was that giving them 4 attempts in this round robin format changed the way I think people got to approach their lift, where usually you'll see 3.
Yep.
Right. Or, 10 minutes and get as heavy as you can. I don't really like that. That's just more chaos. Now, this is pretty much chaos too, because it wasn't like you go. Everybody was going at the same time, but they all started at the same time.
Yeah.
I could have done without the 20-second, 30-second deal. Just like give them 30 seconds, guys. And let's just go every 2 minutes. We're not saving that much time. But this allowed people to really put up some big weights because of that 4th lift versus the 3, where it puts so much pressure on the first one and the second one. You're almost super cautious of not to miss one of those first 2.
Yeah.
Where here you could start a little bit lighter and get a good feel of how you're doing on the floor, and then you've got 3 more attempts on top of that.
I think I also like the 4. With the 4 lifts, you can guarantee that someone will always get something on the board.
Mhm.
It will allow you to be a little bit not well, I'll say this, it'll allow you to not have to be as strategic about getting something heavy on the board, because you have that last shot that you can go. So I think that I like the 4. I think that was really good. What I didn't like the fact, like, why not just go minute on, minute off? Like, you're only gonna get 1 lift during that time, and just say you have 1 lift during that 1-minute time, so you can adjust the weights or put them on, whatever you need to do. But, like, when you only have 20 seconds and everyone's going during the 20 seconds,
Yeah.
who the hell are you supposed to watch?
No one.
Nobody. And that's, I mean, like, that's what I mean. It's like, so what is, like, what are you at that point? Like, you're not even giving the athletes anything at that with that. So I think that, like, the emphasis of getting 4 lifts was great, but now the presentation, this would be something that I'll say, I don't have an issue with it here. It's a clean and jerk, fine. It's, they have
Yeah.
4 attempts, cool. They're going to get their heavy lifting in. You check the box there, but the presentation of that now doesn't
Mhm.
do anyone any benefit. Not the athletes, not you. You can't game it. You can't see what other people are doing. The people that are watching are confusing. All you can watch is your person, not anyone else.
Yeah.
And then if you're the casual fan, like, I mean, luckily for you guys, there was a wide-ish shot, but it
Right.
really didn't help all that much.
Yeah. And that was
Yeah.
a brand new production crew to the CrossFit scene.
Yeah.
I think it was like a local college. And so the guy who ran it was using like people that went to school there,
Oh,
but they
wow.
were like older. It seemed like more of like a trades
Oh,
deal.
okay.
It was
Okay.
really cool. They were like, every time they'd come up, like, all right, what do we need to do better? Like, it was super fun to work with them. This was the first event they covered. It's like, listen, guys, of all the events you guys could cover, this is probably the most chaotic if you've never seen it before. And so we're
Yeah.
just like, just keep everything nice and big, nice and like, because everybody's lifting at the same time.
Right.
And we're like, hey, lane 5, that's the heaviest lift. So if you guys got a handheld, go over there. All that to be said, outside of, say, the timing and execution thing, I like this style if you're going to go heavy. We have 8 events. We just went long. And on day number 1, you went basically either side of the spectrum
Right.
of specialization as far as modalities, minus the gymnastics.
Yep.
So I was
Yeah.
good with it.
Okay.
So far, so good. So far, so good. All right. Event number 3. AMRAP in 18 minutes. We talked to Bob before this, and he modeled this after 14.5
Yeah.
or 14.3, which also was 23.1, the open. One of the best open workouts, I think, ever programmed. Top 5
Oh,
minimum.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Lets everyone play
Yeah.
in the right order of events too, as far as difficulty goes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you have this. Now, to be consistent, we are big no AMRAPs in competition guys, because the better you do, the more you get penalized. This is for reps. So, and we saw that Mary in 2019, where Carrie Pierce goes out and does like,
yeah,
how many rounds did you get? Like 30?
set a world record on that no one
Like
will ever
300
touch.
pull-ups, and everybody else is like 220. And so AMRAPs in competition, I'm a hard don't like that guy for that particular reason. Watching this event, honestly, I mean, for you, what was the first thing that jumped off the page as a red flag when you saw this event?
Well,
Just in the writing, not on camera, because it wasn't on camera, but
single leg squats.
Single leg squats. Mine was the fact that they're using kettlebells.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then so for me, it was like kettlebell hang cleans. I was like, shoot, that's going to be a disaster. And then I went down and saw the single leg squat. So item 1A, kettlebell hang cleans. And then item 1B was the weighted single leg
Well, the reason I didn't think much about the kettlebell was because I'm like, all right, other than I don't know. So this is how we use kettlebells when I do cleans or thrusters at the gym. Like we'll do that, but
I do
I
too.
I routinely will say, don't ever stack it on your shoulder. The fist has to be down at the shoulder. Like I always say that. So in my mind, I just assume that that's what everyone is supposed to be doing, and that's what everyone would be told to do. And so when I saw, I'm like, okay, well, it's not a kettlebell swing, so that's fine. That's what I was thinking. It's like, because you're not worried about what the kettlebell is doing. So I went to the pistol, because then when I was thinking weighted pistol, I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. But that's where I went to that. It wasn't the fact that there were kettlebells in it,
Yeah.
because I didn't think, again, like
I just thought movement standard right off the bat for the hang cleans.
which I get.
Yeah.
I get.
And I love a good kettlebell hang clean. I've programmed that before, but I also have like hard standards.
Well,
I have
and that,
Scott Panchik standards when it comes to the kettlebell.
right. Well, no,
hang clean.
but see, so here's the thing. I think I didn't think about it, because I'm so used to saying what that is, that I, in my own view, didn't even see that as an issue, because, like, well, of course you would do it like this. Why wouldn't you tell someone that because I say, like, that is, I don't even have to think about, I don't have to pull out here's my verbatim of what to say during the class. Like, that's
Yeah.
just part of it. It doesn't stack here. Fist is down at the shoulder. Elbow comes all the way through. Like, those are the natural things that should always be said on any clean, whether it's a dumbbell or whatever anyway. So I was more thinking about the way.
Oh, no, I'm totally with you. I'm totally.
I got you. I got you.
As far as the pistols, once you saw it unfold on the floor, like those that had a problem with them, like tough shit. Like this is the movement. Do I think they should have been programmed for the simplicity of what a competition should be, especially the age group? No, I do not. Do I think they should have been weighted? I also say no, they should. They didn't need to be, because it would have been really nice to just see, okay, Cal row, weightlifting, gymnastics, weightlifting, and then gymnastics, where you have this offset of the weights being used between movements would have been nice to see.
Yeah.
And a pistol is a pistol. We don't need to make it that much harder with weighted. And especially after what went down at the games this year for the individuals.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Well, and I don't think you're gaining that much. I know that, like, there was the idea of, okay, like, well, we need to advance to the next stage of
Right.
evolution in pistols. And I don't know if in this setup, like you didn't need to do that. Like, in all reality, if it was going to be like that, I would have said, okay, 20 single arm overhead squats. Like, I would rather have that, because but you know that I'm a big proponent of overhead squat movements when it comes to masters. I think that's important. I think that is more important than a single leg squat, a weighted single leg squat myself. But yeah, I don't think we gained anything by making it way to be like, yeah, see.
I think you could have gotten rid of this, just got rid of this and churned through that.
Absolutely. But it's like, what are you? I mean, he knew that was, like, I think the pistol was, I want the pistol in there.
He wanted the pistol in there.
Right. So
it.
so they wouldn't take that out. And with him wanting it to be similar to the other workout, he's going to throw a 20 of something. So, like, I don't, could he have taken it out and made it better? Yeah. I mean,
really?
I just honestly just have him race it through once.
Or yes, take the AMRAP out, make that the time cap, and go 60, 50, 40, 30, 40, 50, 60.
That too.
Or 50, 40, 30, 20, whatever it is. Right. But yeah. JR has a question. If anybody want to do a kettlebell or dumbbell DT in competition, good idea or not? It's a fair preface. Should they be allowed to do sumo deadlift to go into the hang cleans?
Because it's a dumbbell versus a barbell.
Because I would say I have. Oh, that's a good question.
You know what? I would say you can't do sumo if you're using double dumbbells.
Not for the deadlifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
It's funny because on the kettlebells, I'm fine between the legs just because the nature of the way that equipment works.
Yeah.
Because outside with kettlebells it makes it more dumb just by the way they work.
Yeah, they bounce all over.
Whereas dumbbells, I'd be like, no, you have to go outside. So dumbbells, I would do it traditional, outside everything. Kettlebells, I'd be outside, inside, which is funny. I have different rules for between kettlebells and dumbbells anyway. Same thing for like
You
a
do.
kettlebell snatch.
You totally
right?
do. Yeah.
A kettlebell snatch. Okay, that's always from the hang.
Yeah, it's always hang.
Dumbbell snatch is always from the ground.
Yep.
So
I
it's a
agree.
good question. Yeah. Again, that's preference, right? Not gospel. Okay, pistols.
So,
I'm 0.5 in the pistols, man. I don't know about how you feel.
You know what? Like I'm fine with that. I just think that
It's a throwaway.
it was
Not a throwaway.
like the event changed based on that one thing, and it's like, did you need to even like did we test fitness by doing that?
Mhm.
Did we test appropriate fitness? Like what are we really looking for on that? Was that important?
Right.
I'd go 0.5. I'm okay with 0.5 on that.
I'm gonna do. Oh, what did I just do? Shoot. What
Are you
about
gonna do a 0.1 for the AMRAP?
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
about to say. Sorry, I'm rusty, guys.
Where were people getting through? Like when you saw like the good people, where were they getting?
They were getting to the hang cleans, and then some to like the last minute pistols, or sorry, the toes to bar. I think there was like a 3-way race on the men. The 30 to 35. I think it was like Scott, Chase Smith, Sam Dancer. We're all like toes to bar in the second round. So I gotta mark that down.
I'd still, yeah. I mean that,
And then some were like still stuck on the pistols.
right?
So they did 120 plus more reps than everybody. So
Right.
all right. Event 4. 35 GHD sit-ups, 16 burpees over the bag, 150 back carry. Then you go 25, 16, 90, 15, 16, 30. The burpee stayed the same. Everything else got lower. This was actually really fun to watch as a short, high-intensity race. I was worried about what would happen to the burpees over the bag. I realized there were some that were pretty ugly out there. It's masters. It's not the best movers in the world. Okay. But there were some really good races, especially at the end of the Scott Panchak's comeback in the final few burpees in that bag race. I was curious how this would go. I enjoyed it because we went long, monostructural, heavy weightlifting, and then we came back and did just like this slog grinder AMRAP, like it or not, through that. And then we came back and just went max intensity with GHDs, burpees, and back carries.
I like the fact that it was a high intensity workout with GHD in it, because you don't usually see that. Usually it's like, all right, you're in the saddle for 50 reps and you're doing 3 rounds of 50, and you're going to be there forever, and your midline's going to be blown out. And this one, like, you had to move. You had to move on that. And it forced the snap. You had to really snap the legs with the hip flexors to get the GHD, and then what that will do for the bag carry. And I liked what this one was too. When you look at my first initial look at the numbers was I didn't like the numbers. I'm like, dude, what's with the 16 thing?
16.
Like, it's weird. That kept throwing me off. And I got it after like Bob talked about it, and then watching it actually go down. It actually was a really, I like this one. It was a good one.
And with the 16, it's hard because when they first started, the 16 got you on the right side of the bag. But on the second round, the 16 got you on the wrong side of the bag. You know what I mean? Like that part, totally. Those little nuances bothered me.
Right.
The over the bag wasn't as bad as I thought, part of me was like, just hop on and off the bag, but then the bags, they're not all the same, and that would probably cause way more problems than it would solve.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind it. Again, this is why we look at these things post these things actually happening on the competition floor, because what I thought I was going to see and what actually happened are two different things. I actually really enjoyed this one. This is one of the more exciting ones to watch for the weekend for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the and I think the intensity allowed really fun races to be there. It was, and they weren't movements that were going to be super technical. This one was way more of a surprise, a pleasant surprise than I was expecting. Way more.
We had the only thing that I would put out there, and we could maybe look at this at the end because we're just siloing these events,
right?
Is that going from toes to bar on the AMRAP to GHDs?
Yeah.
On the event after, I wouldn't want those in the same day. That said, you could. I mean, look, redundancy is part of programming. Redundancy is part of variance. Look at JT versus, say, Fran, right? Complementary movements before redundance. There's something to be said if, like, hey, listen, we wanted this to happen. I'm like, all right.
Well, and it's funny that you say it that way, because I mean, like, yeah, you could very easily say, okay, well, we don't have a whole lot of GHD in here. I mean, we want them to go really fast.
Right.
So let's pre-tax them ahead of time where everyone's going to do at least 40.
Yeah. What is it? 75?
Yeah.
I tell you what,
which is shitty. I mean, that's a lot.
There's a lot of people that got a shock of their life getting to the 15 GHDs at the end.
Yeah.
Because of how intense it was.
Yeah.
And we've said this a lot, is that the combination of a core flexion movement and a burpee at max intensity will shock your system if you have not trained that. I can't I'll always remember, as I did a 21-15-9 toes to bar and burpees to a plate. Full send from the start. And by the round of 15 or 9, trying to burpee off and leap onto the plate, it was crazy.
You lost all snap.
Let alone carry a bag, 200 and 150 pounds at max speed just to get that damn Husafel off the ground.
Right.
People are just like, oh, they just pick it up. I'm like, no, it's a 200. I'm a dead body laying on the ground that they got to pick up and carry 150 feet. So internally, I have no problems with it.
I think this is great. I like this one a lot. Okay. I like this one. I don't like that, like, you know, with the run, it's like, okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a check mark. I didn't see this one as a check mark. I like this event.
People failed on the carries.
Yeah. Because this was the intensity part. The things that were failed were based on intensity.
Right.
That's what was great about it.
Or if you went slow on the carry because you didn't take the time to get your fingers together, you lost 5 seconds. Where are you going to make that up?
Right. You can't.
In 15 GHDs? No. Right. So that was yeah, I was pleasantly surprised on that one. All right, this one, 4 rounds, 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest. You have handstand push-ups, calories on the bike, and then 300 double unders is your max number to get to. Basically, it's the push-up, cal bike buy-in, and then as many double unders as you can in the time remaining. Rest a minute for 4 sets.
Did they I didn't get a chance to see this one. Did they actually make a minimum work requirement at all?
I am not sure, but I do remember talking to Bob and Joe, and they were heavily considering that would be the right choice to make. I can't remember.
Okay.
Right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with just like seeing regular double unders again.
Yeah.
Like all we've seen is weighted and crossovers.
Yeah, totally.
The worries were racing handstand push-ups with all of these age groups. I think they all did them, but some had a higher, mats to go to or whatever. Just a lot of bad reps when you're racing them.
There's no. The thing is, because you have to do them unbroken.
And you have to do them fast.
You got to do them fast. And if you're already like, and it doesn't take much where you think you are locking out, but you're just moving and you're not close. It's very similar to,
hey,
it's
Bill,
similar
you're
to
right.
push-ups.
Yeah, they count all the reps. Awesome. So, hey,
Okay.
great change, boys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm looking like Pat Sherwood.
Hey, what does that mean?
Dang, that was a low blow.
I don't think you guys understand what you just said to Bill.
Wow. I got hair. He doesn't have any hair.
Yeah. And Bill actually watches the sport and knows what he's talking about.
Imagine that.
The big concerns here were, was there going to be enough time? Almost.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know about that rep scheme.
Oh, that's what he said about that one event. Okay, I just said I didn't watch this one. I didn't say that I don't watch CrossFit.
This one wasn't broadcasted, so nobody watched a second of this.
So there, Lupe.
With the nature of the double unders being to get to is that just getting 10 seconds faster is a massive advantage to the success of this event. 10 seconds is 20 double unders.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. One miss, it's 15. So to get through the handstand push-ups unbroken, right? I look at the kipping handstand push-up because that's what these were, and the volume and the intensity that they were forced to go through, a lot like the pistol. I think it's unnecessary. You could have used a different movement. I think, pick something.
Do a push press.
If that's all right, a shoulder to overhead.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that where you can establish good reps, which racing a push jerk, but don't make it that much. Make it heavy. 7 push jerks at 185. Then go to the bike. That would suck.
Yeah.
That would be terrible, especially after you do the bike, which is blowing your legs out because now you have to sprint and your upper body. And then you got to go to the double unders, which is more upper body and bounding fatigue into the legs. And you need to go back to a push jerk. You'll probably have people failing in the 3rd, 4th rounds.
Without a doubt, because you can't rest. Like the thing is, no one's going to rest with the bar on the front rack. They're just not going to. They're going to try to push through, depending on what weight they're.
Yeah, you can't rest in the front rack.
But you're not going to. So you will have people that will go to failure, which is on the handstand push-up. You will have people that will stop and rest on their head.
That's you.
Yeah, because where are you going? Why would I rest my hands locked out? You know,
I still don't know how you do it.
Wrestling
handstand push-ups for me.
Wrestling neck.
There's something to be said about that because I rarely kip anymore. Handstand push-ups. I hated it when they were created. I hate it when I had to do them to stay competitive.
Yeah.
Because it would just wreck my neck.
Yeah. I will say I don't do them anymore. I have basketballed my head on the ground so many times that I've tweaked my neck and I'm like, it's not worth it anymore. So when I have even if I program them, I'll go like a push press.
Yeah.
It's easier to do, but this one to me, the whole thing is just messy. It's just messy. It's not.
I don't like the rep schemes.
No, it's just weird. It's weird. I like on the positive. I like that they have here's your finish line of the double unders. We have talked about how important that's been, and it hasn't happened, and they did that. So great job there. But after that, it was. If we did not tell them about I will just rest the entire round of the 16 and not do any, and I will crush the last round with 4 minutes of rest.
Right.
If I wouldn't have said that, it would have been it would have been a shit show, the whole thing. So the fact that they added all the reps, you can still game it. I think you could game it huge still. It just is one of those ones that it looked like it was a theoretical math problem that you didn't really look at for real. You didn't really put it to test on paper and actually see what actually was happening. It was well, these and then maybe some of those, and it was just messy. It's just messy.
Yeah. I don't think the handstand pushes were necessary. A shoulder overhead would have cleaned it up, keeping the same amount of reps, would have cleaned it up, making it a moderately heavy weight. Or more reps, lighter weight. The problem is with shoulder overhead, people start to do that, slight knee bend, no lockout, and that would have caused more problems from a judging perspective. So if we're looking at that, heavier, shoulder overhead, lower reps, double the reps, keep it all the same.
Yeah.
Just let them race. Yeah. Caroline, they needed gymnastics. So yes, they did. But they got them later. And define gymnastics because they have had gymnastics for the last 2 events.
Yeah.
And no, handstand push-ups is not a high skill gymnastic. So I would say I'm 0.5ing the handstand push-up because I'm giving it the pistol treatment. So I need you to tell me where I fall right there.
Oh, okay. I'll go with your 0.5. I'll go with your 0.5 because when I'm looking at the irrelevant movement or order, imbalance of modality, like that all to me says messy.
Right.
And that to me is what this is. It's okay, Lupe. You're all right. You're all right. So I'm good with the 0.5. And I'll take it as the handstand push-up. I'll take it as that. That's fine. I just think that it was. I'm almost. You can put that. I'm gonna put not tested because I just don't think that it was.
What about rep scheme?
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I don't know if that defines it. Is the rep scheme what makes it weird? I mean, it looks weird, but
Yeah,
I just think that it was just kind of. How about we throw some of this in? Oh, that looks great on paper. Oh, this will be fun.
yeah.
This is like a workout you would do. You program it, and then you're at your 5:30 class. They do it, and you're like, "Damn it, this did not look right." And you change it all for the next class that's coming in. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. I mean, I'm not against handstand push-ups. I'm not against having handstand push-ups.
Me neither.
But the way that this is set up is it's like saying, okay, everyone, we're specifically going to race lightweight thrusters. It's like you're just asking for issues.
Honestly, if we're going to do some type of inverted gymnastic, I would have preferred a wall walk here and then change the final event.
Yeah.
Easy to judge, hard to do. Keep it the same number. Make them race.
See, like you could have had, if the numbers were different, you could have done like a four wall walks, 16 calorie bike, max echo, and then you go 3, and then to whatever the numbers are at 9, and kind of work your way. You could do a number thing like that if you want to kind of pretty them up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seriously, get that shit out of here. I know you're being funny. Yeah.
Messy. I'm good with
and that's why it's like I have no problem with handstand push-ups.
Yeah, it's just like what are you trying to do with them?
What this forced? It was just ugly and it was a mess because you had to go unbroken because you had to save seconds and everybody looked like shit. That's where I had the problem.
Yeah. You're begging for bad reps.
And you got them.
Yeah.
So nothing on the rep scheme. Just like, hey, one of my favorite, but I'm not taking anything off of it.
I don't know about adding.
It did honestly. I thought it was gonna be more of an issue, and it really didn't.
They're just dumb numbers. I mean, that's my own personal opinion.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. With
the numbers are just dumb, but but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean
the program. Okay, yeah.
That doesn't mean that the program is bad. Like when I'm looking at, what word? How can I say about it being messy? I'll do this. I will go 0.5 with untested because I do not believe that this was tested.
Yeah.
At all. So I'll go. So give me that.
Caroline, we already had clean and jerk and thrusters. Yes, you had 4 reps and 30. You really got tested overhead.
Come on,
Caroline.
Come on now. Come on now.
Good Lord. So did we say nothing?
I said 0.5 on not tested.
On not
Not being a non-tested event. I don't
Oh.
believe it was tested. That's how I say the messy.
What do you mean?
Because before they did the event, and they were telling us about the event 2 days before the event happened, or 1 day before the event was going to happen.
You're saying, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm saying that they put this
Okay.
down as a test, and it was an untested event.
I thought you were meant something wasn't tested in this event. I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you watch?
No.
You don't think anyone properly vetted this?
I don't think it was a vetted event at all. That's what I mean about saying like messy.
I think that's an end of the.
You think? Oh, okay.
I think that's a full picture because I think
okay.
because I would take off a 0.5 of 6 other events, and that just deserves an overall 0.5. Maybe a full 1 at the end.
Okay, I'm fair with that. I'm good with that.
Okay, all right, we'll move on. We got 12 minutes. Axle bar. Oh wait. AMRAP in 3 minutes, 3 deadlifts, 80-foot sled push. I think the heaviest weight was like 315 and 205 for the women. The elite 35 to 39. For the purpose of what this was and the worries that were out there was it's just going to be a sled push event, which by all accounts it was.
Right.
The curiosity was how much weight are they going to use? Because they didn't know yet. And we were like, please make it light because it doesn't need to be heavy. Because there's going to be more time spent on the sled than there will on the barbell.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they changed from axle bar to regular bar because they couldn't put as much weight on the axle bars because they were like stub bars, which we'll go to our final. We'll go to our final assessment as far as testing is concerned. And so, look, this just murdered people for 3 minutes. It was just a dead sprint the whole way through. With the new bar setup and after watching it, I think they should have added at least 2 more reps to the deadlifts because the deadlifts were just like 1, 2, 3, back to the sled. There was no one was in danger of not getting the deadlifts.
Nope.
Not that anybody would be in danger of not getting 5 or say 7. There's a number on the deadlifts that they could have applied to have made the deadlifts matter a little bit. All it did was make the sled push worse. It didn't impact the movement. It was like each movement should matter.
Yeah. Right.
It's not 10 double unders, 20 wall ball shots. You're like, what? Yeah, of course that's going to suck. But like, does that mean we did it right? I don't know. I don't even think we needed this one.
Yeah, I was going to say this was the garbage event. This was the garbage event. It didn't. I like the high output, but it did not do remotely what it was supposed to do. The deadlift number was way off. I didn't.
What I think it was supposed to do, it did do. It just lit people on fire. But what did we have to test here that we haven't in other places? We just did an interval power output event.
Right.
We've already done a 1 rep max clean and jerk. Do we need a sprint style power event? I mean, look at what we had to do for the chipper GHD one. There was a lot of expression of power output there, even though it was a 5 to 6 minute event. And we have another AMRAP. I'm giving this the 1.0
garbage event.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Am I putting garbage or am I going to be nice? Throw away
garbage event. Okay. That's fine.
I don't want to say garbage.
All right, throw away.
John Young's not here. If John Young was here, we would put garbage.
That's trash.
Yes.
That event is trash.
Trash. Okay, a 1.0. I haven't had one of those in a while.
I know.
Okay, last event before they made cuts. 5 rounds for time, 6 ring muscle ups, 9 overhead squats, 12 box jump overs. As far as testing age group athletes, throwing an overhead squat in there is essential. It also should be in the qualifying stage to get people here so you don't have to worry who can or can't do them at the games.
So you can see if they can actually race them instead of like, we're
do
going to race. No, we're
front
just going to see if you
squats.
can do them.
Yes.
It's not a race anymore. Just
Yeah.
can
At
you
the
do them?
games, we don't want to know if you can do certain movements. That's just not where we should be doing that. Watching this, it was really cool to see people try to attack this, I would say, unintelligently.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, I'm a ring muscle up master. I'm like, yes, but then you have overhead squats.
Yeah.
And if you have a bad position, you are blowing your arms out. Box jump overs, they, I think it was originally written with higher boxes that they didn't do.
They had like 30s.
I thought it was originally 30 and 24.
Yeah.
When it was first written.
Okay.
From what I saw, it was 24 and 20. There was no need. The box jump overs were unnecessary.
Yeah.
They did nothing. If it was just 6 and 9 and you take out the power sled deadlift one, obviously this makes it shorter. That would have been, 30 ring muscle ups for time, 45 overhead squats at a moderate weight would have been a great couplet to have. And we've had a lot of triplets. And if we're killing the previous couplet, it would have been nice to have a couplet here. That being said, I really liked this event.
Yeah.
And the way it was put together.
When I looked at all of them in the beginning, this was the first one that I was like, oh yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like this is what these athletes should be doing.
Mhm.
And I thought that they had, relatively speaking, I thought that they had some decent weights for the overhead. It wasn't like a gimme.
No.
Which I thought was good. They need that. It's about time for these athletes to have that. So I agree. The box jump overs, she didn't even need to have them. This would be an ugly couplet. I think it would be an ugly couplet because
And
at least
fantastic for age groupers.
totally. I mean,
we have the
the
skills.
box jumps were worthless other than it gave your arms just a little bit of a reprieve.
Which
Before you had to
maybe is
get back
okay.
up. Maybe they needed that.
Yeah.
But I agree. I generally speaking, you know what? I like the event, but I could call a 0.1 on the boxing because it was meaningless.
If they were 30 and 24, I would have a totally different opinion.
100%. Because then those would count.
Those would count. Like you have to actively.
Yeah.
I want to say box jump height. How about that?
Okay.
This was a massive gymnastics test.
Yeah.
If you had for some people, it was overhead squats, but that's poor positioning. Or hear me out. You were so blown out on the rings, you couldn't stabilize overhead. So yes, this is a triplet. Yes, it had gymnastics. The box jump overs were more of a placeholder than a test, but this was straight. This was a big gymnastics test. Right? Is it an isolated single modality test? No. Is it so heavily weighted on the ring muscle ups that it affected both in different ways? Yes.
Yeah.
And so you finally got that long aerobic test, heavy test, and then a gymnastics test. Even though it's not in an isolated format, watching it, clearly it was a gymnastics
totally
test.
Yeah. What did you feel about the time cap for this?
Was it 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Tight.
Right. And that's what I was wondering. Did you think that it was too tight? Like, should they have let people like maybe make it 12 minutes so that you have more people that are actually forced to do more of the more of the rings, more of the overhead squat?
Yes, I would have liked to see them do it more. Although I would say is where everybody got capped, that's probably where they would have settled anyways. They just didn't get tested further.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Right. Dan, the weights were the heaviest weights, I think, was 165 and 115, which turned out okay. Turned out okay. It was a light enough weight that you should be able to do these unbroken, no problem. But the intensity that you'd have to go on the rings, like if you want to do well, you had to go unbroken. If you weren't great on the rings, you had to break on the rings first round versus 4 in the last round, which we just kept seeing. I was like, oh God.
Well, and see, and that number's tricky because I think a lot of age groupers get to the point where they're like, I can do sets of 5. And so 6 is like, motherfucker. Now I have to break. And you're right. And like it's like the having to swallow your ego enough to break on that first set, because otherwise you're not going to make it to the end.
Right.
And being like, okay, well, I got to go 4-2 or 3-3. I got to be fast. Then you got to go unbroken on the overhead squats.
All right, last round. Last one. 2 rope climbs, 6 wall walks, 4 snatches.
Weird numbers.
Weird numbers. Wall walks were crushing people.
Yeah.
The intensity that they had to go was the reason for it. Everybody's doing singles on snatches unless they save the touch and go for the end, which is where you should have saved it, not in the first round. Masters athletes got to go back and freaking game plan, man. Just what are your coaches doing? Just ripping my hair out all weekend long. Rope climbs or whatever. It was straight wall walks. Like
this whole thing was wall walks, man. Which is so weird because how many times have we done wall walks now?
I know.
Like you would think that by now, when those first started popping up, that this is something that is so in your arsenal. We've done it at every single open, and then you'll see them in the qualifiers. And now we have like that should be something that everyone can do.
Yeah.
And you can just see the ones that just don't.
But that said, regardless of the rep scheme, it just made it smoother. I don't care about that. Yeah, it bothers my brain. At the end of the day, I really liked this event. The races, everything mattered. Yes, it was a little heavier on the wall walk, but at the same time, right, we needed a bit more of a gymnastics throughout the weekend. We had a lot of weight. We had a lot of power. We had a lot of endurance and grinders. We didn't hit gymnastics until later in the weekend. Right. Now, should you have waited to have a gymnastics heavy event after the scores changed? No.
Right.
Would have been better to have a more balanced, multimodal event where everything was the same. We just pushed, hey, who's the best CrossFit athlete for the finale? Yes.
Right.
That said, if you have all your boxes checked, nobody got outed because of the wall walks. If you were supposed to be where you're supposed to be fitness-wise. The weights were I think they got the weights right for the most part, at least in the younger divisions.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little too light in some of the older divisions. And everybody did rope climb.
Yeah.
They just changed the height of which you went.
That's the way that they should be scaling anyway. So I like that they have that down for pretty regularly now.
Yeah. And it was good. They had good races. It was a good finale. Right. So I don't really have anything on this one.
Nah, I'm fine with it. It's okay. I mean, like I could nitpick, but like why?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right. End of the weekend. We have a lot of equipment used. We have a lot of events. And a lot of triplets, which, not all triplets are created equal. They could be chippers. They could be AMRAPs if they're supposed to be. Heavy on the weightlifting as far as volume's concerned, but, that's just because the weightlifting movements is a weightlifting movement. Hinging, fairly heavy, especially with the weights being used. Heavy on the press with the gymnastics. Right? Burpee, handstand push-up, ring muscle up, wall walk. End of the weekend, individual event deductions, we have a total of 2.2. So we're starting at a 7.8. Overall comp deductions, you said testing.
I think testing was an issue. I don't think that all of these were tested.
You mean we don't think these were vetted enough testing wise?
I don't think that they were, okay, let's write it down on paper. Let's come up with something good. Now let's have people do it and see what we actually get out of that. How are they going to win? How are they going to move? What are they going to try to do to shorten this up or that up? Let's adjust this weight. Let's adjust that movement. How do these all fit together? Where are we doing this? Where, if we're doing toes to bar into GHD, is that really what we are choosing, or is that just happenstance that it happens?
Yeah.
Like those kind of things. I don't think that was really looked at all the way through here. And I know that there's a lot of division. So I know, and I'm very partial to the upper half of the divisions because I think that the weight should be heavier for the upper weights. And I heard some people were saying that even the 60 to 64, like the weights were light. And that generally that's because it is hard to figure out where that should be. And I get that. And I'll give them the grace on that. But that doesn't mean that you should know exactly what's happening on these. And I just think that it was more kind of like, well, let's try this. Let's just try that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a 1. That is your, other than making the events, testing the events is just as important as the events you create.
I mean,
And,
look
what JR does.
Right. You have the best come out and make sure that they work.
Look what Dave does.
Right.
The amount of testing that goes into the game events. And even with all of that testing, sometimes they still don't get it right.
Right.
So how do you think you're going to get it right if you don't test at all, or not nearly close enough that you should have? And that was clearly the case this weekend.
Yeah.
That's a 1. I'd give it a 5 because that'd be like, I just threw some events together and I didn't even test them.
I'm good. I'm good with the 1 on that. I think that's fair. That's fair. Oh, dang. Thanks, Mace.
Appreciate that. I'm going on the Outside the Box show.
Oh,
Jake
nice.
and Jan.
Yeah.
I think next week, actually. Yeah. But we're talking kids sports.
Oh, dang. Well, you are the coach extraordinaire right now.
I don't know extraordinaire. I just do it a lot. Okay, I got 1 there. There's something to be said, and this could be in the testing because I don't want to double dip on deals here. But somebody said is programming certain movements that make it easy for the athletes and easier for the judge so that we can just test fitness instead of work our way around a maze. And I don't know if that goes into testing. I would say it's, look, things like the kettlebell hang cleans, the single leg squats, the fast handstand push-ups because of the way the event was designed, the burpees over the bag.
I would venture to say that would be within the testing range, because you should, if you test that, you should see that.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that like, hey, I'm going to write this and I'm going to do it. It means I'm going to write this and I'm going to watch you do it, because I need, like, that's what testing is. It's not just like, I know the movements can happen. I need to see how they happen. I need, as the programmer, if I'm setting up what I want this to be, just like what you said, I want to know that there isn't a workaround on this. That my intention on this test is going to be executed by the movements that are shown on that test. Meaning range of motion issues, or where is this going to be able to, is this movement going to have good races, or is it just going to be about, okay, who gets the most no reps?
Yeah.
Who has the judge that watches it and who has the judge that doesn't?
Right. I mean, we said that with Rogue before.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the testing. What about order of events? Because it was really weightlifting heavy and then went gymnastics heavy. And then we changed the score and it was a gymnastics heavy finale.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against the weight heavy in the beginning because you want people
we
that are
didn't make
fresh for the
cuts through
Masters,
it,
know.
Right.
And I'm okay with that, but I see what you're saying. I mean, that I'm not a big fan of cuts, dude. And so I have a really hard time with that, because that definitely skews and now makes what you have at the end. You have to vet it, everyone, before you have the cut.
Right.
You can't have something extra.
Which I actually feel people through those 7,
right.
They got most of everything that they needed.
Right.
I'm not worried about the fringe 17 through 19 people.
Right.
13 through 19 people. Okay.
But I'm pretty good with those numbers, I think, dude.
All right. So we just had a 1 here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but okay. What is that? That's a 3.2. That's a 6.5.
6.8. Yeah. And that's a
6.
Is it a D?
Yeah.
Or is that an F? D plus? What are the grades now? 68. To me, 68 was failing when I was in high school.
That was failing?
Yeah.
I thought 60s,
I'm like, okay, we go like
were
A.
D's, 70s were C's, B's were 80s, and 90s were A's, I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, 9s, A's, 80s.
I don't know. I grew up with the sundial, so I don't know.
70s, C's, 60s, D's. Okay. D plus.
Yeah.
All right.
Just check your shit, fellas.
Better than last year.
Yeah.
Better than last year.
Yeah.
I would say less problems, even though those may be glaring. Which, if they're glaring problems, that means they're easy fixes.
There were a lot of easy fixes on here.
So that's 2 years down. Third time's a charm.
That's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for. All right, folks. Happy Friday. We'll be back next week. The queue for Rogue just went down. We'll review that next week. We'll hit a journal article, maybe a CrossFit Jeopardy show, and then Bill's off to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Podcast the adaptive game. So thank you guys for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you Monday.